Donnie must have seen how much money you made off your Pepsi promo last week and your Swedish Fish promo last week.
Gatorade this week, folks.
Gatorade this week. Okay. Donnie's is Wolfville and Pepsi Peach.
Which is quite good.
I'm going for Lionel this week. I got my die cast up here. So
nice.
All right.
Yeah.
Sorry we didn't ask.
I know.
Is that a new studio you're in, Evan?
Well, you were in it last week, so it's much improved this week.
The shells weren't there last week, were they? No.
I think they were there, but you were looking this way. Yeah.
So do you have pants on this week?
I do. Yeah.
Yeah. Now that you're home alone, decided to put some pants on.
What did I call them? My bottoms or something like that last week? I've got bottoms on. Anyway.
I don't know. I'm trying to wipe the image from my mind personally. So.
Yeah, well. You know an easy way to wipe images from your mind?
What's
Talk
that?
Talk about NASCAR.
Oh, NASCAR. What a novel idea.
Right? Isn't that crazy? Yeah. So you want to jump into it, or is there anything you guys want to discuss before we do?
No, I think we got most out of the way. You got a new studio. You're a bottom or something like that. Whatever floats your boat.
Well, we have left the station. I'm not sure we should stay on these tracks, but let's roll with it, I guess.
All right.
Hey, that's no worse intro than I had.
I'm just. Oh no, I do have the right outline up because we were talking about Chicago all of a sudden. But yeah, we're all good. We're all prepared.
I don't know about prepared, but we're all on the same page.
We'll
all be wrong together.
So following Chicago, we finally got confirmation on where Noah Gragson will be spending his 2025 season, as he is now confirmed to be joining Front Row Motorsports for the upcoming season. Crew chief number and sponsors weren't really focused on at the time, but we do know where he is ending up. There had been rumors linking him to RCR, and not a ton had been said about FRM, but how does this line up with him moving forward? Is this a good move?
He's Evan's boy. I'll let him take it first.
Well, actually, so we talked in the off season about who was going to come out ahead with Stuart Haas and Noah. You know, which one was getting the better deal. And I think at the time we all kind of agreed that given the state Noah's career was in, any opportunity, let alone one with a formerly top tier team, was a great opportunity. I think Noah proved us kind of all a little bit wrong in the sense that, I don't think we necessarily thought he was going to make as much of the opportunity as he has. That's slowed down a bit the last couple of weeks, but there was a stretch there. He had top 10s consistently, which we all know that's what I consider a top echelon driver. So I think for Furniture Row or Front Row, my goodness, one of these days I will remember that Furniture Row no longer exists, but for Front Row, I think this is a really good opportunity to bring in a guy who has a lot of upside, who now has almost he's got about a year and a half because he filled in there for a while too for Alex Bowman in 22, with some seat time, and you put him in a camp with some talented drivers around him, and it could pan out really well. I'm excited to see what happens. I have somewhat of an affinity for Front Row, even though I don't know their name. Always been kind of a Michael McDowell fan to a degree. So I'm hoping to see that organization continue to do well. And I hope Noah Gragson's a big part of it. I think it's a good move for him. I think it's a better move than RCR. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. I mean, I got to agree with that. Anybody that avoids RCR, I think comes out ahead in all of this. But yeah, I mean, I think it's a good seat to be in. They got a program that's taking steps forward every year, so it would be a good spot to cut your teeth in Cup, because it's one of those things nobody's expecting a ton out of you. So really, whatever you do on the track's gonna, anything good is going to be really positive. Anything bad, it's probably going to be blamed on equipment or just where the cars are. So I think it's a good move. I like it for him.
Right on. Was RCR still good after Earnhardt, or have they just basically been?
I feel like it's kind of been a roller coaster to a degree, but like they've definitely. I I don't consider they've ever been back to that level.
Okay.
You know.
Yeah, but I mean, how do you that's like saying the 48's never been back to that level. Like when you're
It'd be
7-time.
crazy to say that, but whatever.
No, well, you know what I mean? Like there's never
Yeah,
been a
yeah.
driver to that level, like for Dale Sr. So I mean, yeah, they took a step back, but they've had decent runs. That's a cool Dale Jr. car.
Yeah, it's the 88.
Cute boy.
All right, quit playing with your toys.
Yeah.
It's time for the podcast.
My
What did we tell you?
precious.
But they've never been scared to spend money though. Has money been an issue, or like they've just
No,
haven't
it just
performed?
yeah. I
don't-
mean, Hendrick's always gonna be the top Chevy team. So like,
I
but
think
I'm
too,
trying
though.
to think like
I think Childress kind of really lost his desire to be in racing when he lost Earnhardt for a while, and I think it's been a long road to try and get back to being competitive. And for whatever reason, he's been stuck on this Austin Dillon train, which I can't imagine is. Nah, I can't imagine it's helping. I'm not saying it's necessarily hurting, but I don't think it's helping.
yeah. Like Austin's hit a rough stretch, but the kid hasn't been as awful as what people say. Like the worst thing they ever did was put Austin in the 3 car because you have an entire fan base that, you know, is just loyal to the 3 and will be forever. Like not even till death do you part. Like they're still kicking around and, you know,
Earnhardt
NASCAR
still
drive
sells
with
an
Dale kind of
absurd
thing.
amount of merch.
Yeah. Like
It's foolish.
yeah. So like unless that kid won 8 championships, and even then, it would be a different era of racing, and Dale's still the greatest. Like, that's the worst thing they ever did was give him the number 3.
Yeah.
But like Austin, like, who do you put in that seat right now that's better? Like,
Hill.
there's Hill hasn't
I don't
been
like him.
up yet. Yeah.
But he's definitely not worse.
See, I disagree. He doesn't run great in Cup. I bet if you put Austin down in Xfinity, like he's battling for championships. Like the guy's not a horrible driver.
No.
Like he's not great, but like, you know what I mean? For where RCR is as an organization, like I don't think Gregson's going to get better results. I don't think McDowell would get much better. Like
I mean, Kyle Busch.
if
came and
Kyle
get
Busch,
through- yeah,
right? Like
We'll talk about Kyle Busch later, but yes, I will concede that this season in particular has shown that perhaps there's not as much discrepancy as we once thought.
Yeah.
All right, so let's talk about the race that happened. On lap 119 of the 160 lap race, 4 drivers were assessed an end of the line penalty for speeding on pit road. The cars of Kyle Larson, Chase Elliott, Ty Gibbs, and Daniel Suarez would have to restart from the rear in an effort to make their way back to the front. On a day where track position was key, this would prove to be a fairly difficult task as only Chase Elliott was able to get back to the top 10, finishing in 9th. For a race that didn't have a lot of dramatic moments, was this and the effort to get back through the field the highlight? I mean, I didn't even notice him drive back up.
Right. But
Yeah.
for a track where it positions everything, thanks for James Small taking 4 tires and
Right.
putting us back to 8th spot.
At least James Small hasn't had an engine blow up this year. Huh?
Hey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know so far as I'd say it was the highlight. But I
Made things interesting.
It did. And truthfully, I don't think they get up as far as they did had we not seen some of the restarts and stuff that we've seen later, right? Like I think that's where the tires paid off because we saw at the end of the race, guys with better tires not really gaining anything on the guys ahead of them with only 2, right?
Nope.
I don't think it was. I think on the short term,
I think Truex was it. Like he was the only one on 4. Like
Was
the
he?
other, 7 guys ahead of him had 2.
Yeah.
And I know I'm always hard on James Small. I'm going to say this: if it wasn't for those, yellow after yellow, like we had a full tank of fuel, like that really could have paid off. Like it wasn't a horrible strategy call. It didn't work out.
generally speaking,
Because I mean,
go ahead.
Sorry, too, just to pile on top of that too, especially with the speeding penalties. Like we went from like 8th, like starting up at 5th, like after choosing, like because I mean that took Chase out of the way, it moved Larson out of the way. Like we actually came up with decent position. It's just the yellows killed us.
Yeah. And I will say, generally speaking, like I'm also I love when you're hard on James Small. I find it humorous, no real reason other than that. But generally speaking, any strategy that's off from everybody else gives you a chance to capitalize, right? Doing the same thing as everybody usually isn't what wins you the race unless you're actually the fastest car with the best driver.
Which he was all weekend from practice on. So, I mean, that's what's frustrating. It's like,
yeah,
did you need to make those calls or could you have just let him? But yeah, who
well,
knows?
fair enough, I guess. Yeah, I was.
Yeah, because Blaney really didn't have the best car. That's for sure.
Well,
He
and
just picked
I
to
will
be
say,
there and-
in preparation for our caution break segment coming up today, I listened to a lot of Radioactive this weekend, and I will tell you that there is nobody feistier on the radio than James Small and Martin Truex Jr. And like
Right.
a lot of people are like, "Oh yeah, that's just who they are." I'm not convinced that there's not actually a little dislike there,
Yeah.
And it might not even be all James Small's part. I think when you leave a relationship like Martin Truex had with Cole Pern, it would be hard to ever replicate that. Large part of that being because of the success they had, but it's sometimes it was feisty at times. I was like, man.
Yeah. But I mean, to go from Cole Pern to the worst that Joe Gibbs has to offer season after season, like,
Yeah.
I don't want to cry tonight.
Actually,
All
I
right.
can't think of who Gibbs' crew chief is, but I know the other three. And he
Yeah.
is definitely the worst out of those three.
All right, so on a restart in the middle of stage 3, we had an incident involving Corey LaJoie and Kyle Busch that had rather large potential to turn dangerous as Kyle Busch was spun by Corey down into the apron where he would turn sideways before coming back up into the field of cars as they entered turn 1, collecting many others with him. Additionally, Kyle would have a significant impact to the rear of the car. On the LaJoie team radio following the incident, the following statements were made by various crew members. He hooked himself. We ain't worried about him. We're worried about ourselves, and he got what he deserved. What's your thoughts on the incident?
Honestly, my thoughts is there's great racing for 30th place back there. I don't think we watched that enough, but
I just want to know which one of us is taking devil's advocate and somehow find an argument on Corey LaJoie's behalf, because I feel like it's like one of the most cut and dried scenarios that we have ever seen of either intentional or really dumb. Because I don't have an issue with people retaliating. I really don't. But I have an issue with you putting a guy in that dangerous of a position.
and wrecking half the field around you.
And that's the other thing too, right? Like it's not just him that had to suffer the repercussions. But I mean, when I saw him come back up the track, driver's side on to traffic, like that's a bad predicament. It's not the type of thing that we want to see any driver put in, let alone in what looks to be clear, blatant retaliation.
And then your argument after is word for word what the people, like the commentators, are saying. Yeah, if you listen here, you can hear maybe he shifted a little late and got hung up. Like, buddy, you didn't hear that in your car, and you like, come on.
You rewatched the race hoping someone gave you an out.
Yeah. And you're like, yeah, that sounds good enough.
Mm.
Like from stacking pennies to stacking NASCARs. Like the guy's just
can't drive.
Menace.
Stack them up.
No, he really can't.
Stack them up.
Like honestly, what Kyle Busch did to Ricky, you know what I mean? Like it was uncalled for at the All-Star race, but like that's how you retaliate. You know what I mean? You don't hurt a guy, you don't get anyone else involved.
Yeah.
And if you get punched in the mouth later, you get punched in the mouth later. Like that's between two guys. Like, but this whole wrecking somebody and then taking out the field, like, buddy, you're not the only one looking to win and get in. Like,
and it's not like you're never going to see the 8 car again because he's been running back there with you.
Yeah, like,
as he said at North Wilkesboro, I don't care, man. I suck too. So yeah,
like,
it really doesn't make sense, and
no,
it puts yourself in a position where you're likely going to have anger from your other competitors, not just Kyle Busch.
Oh, for sure.
You know what I mean? Like you think, I think he took Stenhouse out. You think Stenhouse isn't going to take that personally? You know what I mean? Stenhouse is looking for great results and stuff too. It's it's really a dumb situation to put yourself in.
And not only that, let's say by, some miracle, there's a 35 car pileup and LaJoie wins a race. Like, nobody's cutting him any breaks, in that first round. Like, they're going to make sure this guy doesn't.
I don't think they'll
keep
have
going
to.
on.
He's just going to spin himself out anyway.
Right?
I think the guys on Door Bumper Clear, I was listening earlier today, and they said too, with this hiring of Rodney Childers and putting him with Korey, it's the pressure's on for him, right? You're gonna either perform or probably get shipped out. And
that's exactly what I'm thinking.
And obviously they're dead right on that. I mean, and I think chances are it's not going to be performing. I wouldn't mind seeing it. I always like to root for the underdog a little bit, but I haven't seen anything that gives me confidence.
Yeah.
Are you still a Bowman fan now that he actually won a race? Like,
no, I'm not really a big fan of his attitude after winning that race. So I think I'm going to move on from him now too.
I thought he was a little too slack on Bubba. Probably should have actually held him to account a little more. No, I will say, man, I didn't put anything in here about Bowman, I don't think, this week, other than that Blaney held him off or whatever. But I am going to talk about it for a second here because you guys opened the door. Honestly, it was a different looking driver out there this week. Like, showed some aggression, really seemed to be driving with confidence and stuff. And man, it was so much better to be a fan this week than it has been the past couple years when you're like, oh, he looks defeated even driving around the track. Kind of looked like what we accused Chase Elliott of earlier in the year, where it just didn't really look like he had any desire to really excel. And man, I tell you, a win changes attitudes. I like it. I like it a lot.
Here's hoping.
Oh, thanks, Don. I appreciate it.
I got nothing to say to that. I don't know. I almost fell asleep there. All right, next.
You mean during the race or me talking?
Yes.
Both. Yes. Yeah. All right, heading into Pocono, Alex Bowman is my hero. I thought you weren't going to say anything about him.
I didn't put that there, you more.
It's right there, man.
But this is your segment. You don't write your own outlines. You don't
This
take
is the first time you've even seen this outline, man.
Oh, I'm shocked.
All right, heading into Pocono, many drivers were looking forward to an opportunity to get back to something a bit more typical of stock car racing and getting back into a rhythm. Ty Gibbs started that off by setting his car on the pole to start the race. He would lead 21 laps before his engine would fail him on a restart heading into turn 1. So far this year, we've seen Denny Hamlin lose an engine in Sonoma, Christopher Bell have engine issues at Gateway, and now Ty Gibbs here at Pocono. We talked about it following Sonoma since the Bell and Hamlin incidents were very close together, but how concerning is this as we draw near to the playoffs?
Super concerning because we got Richmond coming up, and Truex is probably going to be leading there and driving away with it just to blow an engine with 3 to go.
Gibbs wasn't leading when he blew the engine, though, right?
No, he wasn't.
Okay,
No, I don't think it's that concerning. I mean, I can't say that, no, because anytime that 3 guys in the same organization are blowing engines, but I just feel like that's kind of the luck of racing, I guess. Like, I don't know.
Has there been many other teams blowing engines this year? I can't think of any right off.
I can't think of any other Hendrick cars that did.
I just don't want to put stuff out there.
I get that, but at the same point, you look at heading into the playoffs. Okay, round 1, Atlanta Motor Speedway. That's a really high revving track. Especially in the draft. Watkins Glen International. Coming up that hill, certain places you really want to be in that power band. You're going to have it high in the revs. Those are both tracks where you have an engine failure, or in the case of Atlanta, you get wrecked. Well, then all of a sudden you're heading into Bristol in a must-win situation, and I don't think you want to be in that position. So I think it's concerning. I don't think it's
For Christopher Bell, you might.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You put that kid in a must-win spot and he wins. So
well, the car holds up.
That's
the trick. Yeah. Oh, sorry. Wait.
Them's the brakes.
Oh, come on. Really? I swear, if it wasn't for the delay here, we would have
Yeah.
said that at the exact same time.
Buddy, you're not delayed. You're special. We talked about this.
Anyway, moving on because that's going to get us in trouble. Yeah, I think it's concerning, but I don't think it's like pull at all the stops, let's shut everything down and figure it out. It's it's I think they're probably all pushing a little bit right now, which is probably what's gotten them wins too. But it's definitely not something you want to continue, and that's what we said when the second one blew in Sonoma. But I also would rather they didn't. That was some gross looking stuff coming out of his exhaust. Not the
Chocolate
greatest
milk.
image after Chinese food, but anyway.
That's why he took a nap. Sugars
Right.
were through the roof.
It's the MSG.
Yeah.
No, I took a nap because stage
Blew his
2
engine
was
3 hours later.
dead. Stage 2 was a slow paced stage, man.
Oh, I will say that Chinese food we had, what's it called? Bamboo East.
Bamboo East.
That Donnie didn't get to try. It's good.
I know,
Yeah,
man.
better than the other spot.
Yeah, I'd say it was better than the other stuff.
Attaboy.
Did they give Evan tap water?
We didn't go there. We ordered in.
Oh,
It was good. I was impressed.
nice.
Fat
So-
guys know their food, man. What am I?
This
what am I saying?
podcast brought to you by Bamboo East, Gatorade, and Pepsi Peach.
Oh, I have a sponsor now. Cool.
All right, Ryan Blaney wins in Pocono after holding off Alex Bowman on a restart, and Denny Hamlin, who was charging in the closing laps and finding pace to catch Blaney. It appeared the track position was a critical element of the race, as a 12 team only took 2 tires in the final pit stop to earn the lead, giving them an opportunity to hold off the field. Once he broke clear the 48, he opened a substantial gap. And then it says Donnie. Oh, Donnie, this is a question for you. Will you finally admit that the Fords have speed now, as Penske has won 4 of the last 7?
Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. Kyle Larson didn't get caught speeding. We're talking about another
Honestly,
Hendrick
it
Motorsport
could be
win.
another. It could be a Larson.
You think
win.
Larson was the guy to beat yesterday?
No, but neither was
Because he was
Blaney.
speeding.
Like he was coming out on the pole, or not the pole, the lead. And then Ryan Blaney took his spot.
Yeah, I
so,
suppose he was. You're right. I'm
yeah,
sorry.
So
Yeah. No, I mean, Ford's definitely they're finding something, especially Penske. I mean, the fact that you're winning races if you're running up there. You know what I mean? Like whether someone has bad luck, Truex would have needed 7 guys to have it for him to win. So I mean, you're where you want your drivers to be. You're getting the results. So yeah, I think Ford's got something positive going now. As far as the 12 team goes, I think they're looking better heading into the playoffs than they've ever looked.
yeah, better than last year for sure.
Right? And I mean, he's a champion, so
It looks to me like we
getting
could
rid of
honestly see the first repeat champion since when I think Jimmy was the last one to repeat, right? In 2010?
Yep.
Like, and I'd be okay with Blaney being a repeat. I'm going to be very honest.
It'd be weird, but like,
Right?
you know what I mean? Like, it's
You
not
don't
a guy
think
you'd expect.
Yeah, you don't think of him as like you think like he's a superstar, don't get me wrong. Like he's got a very solid fan base, but he's not like a Larson or Hamlin who just goes out and rattles off win after win after win, right? Like he's a consistent, he gets what the car gives him. And
More
He's
like
a blue collar, you know what I mean?
yeah,
Just works for every win that
he's
he
like
gets.
a likable Ross Chastain.
Yeah.
I like Ross Chastain. I don't
Of
know.
course you do. Then
And
you
he's
don't like
handsome.
Denny. It was your natural result.
Yeah.
Actually,
You don't
I
like
will-
Denny anymore?
Man, I don't know. You've
You've
not
seen
really-
him and
Your
Larson,
second
right?
favorite. Worse than Kevin.
I know, right?
No, but hang on. You've seen the situation with him and Larson, right? Like, you understand how Corey could possibly, maybe, in a small percentage chance, not be.
You
as
can't
big
see
a
it,
fan
man.
as Cameron.
That Toyota blindness is he's just
No.
like in a wind tunnel. You can't see anything.
Like, because
but-
like Denny's better? Is that what you mean? Has more? Yeah, I mean, I guess.
I'm actually surprised you named your kid Sully and not Camry. Oh, Camry Johnston over there.
I'm surprised you didn't call him Truex, to be honest.
Right?
You know, I tried.
My little birdie.
Yeah.
All right, so Donnie, you're admitting that I was right. Ford's of speed now. Is that what we're?
Oh, yeah, they're getting there. Yeah.
I'm actually I'm seeing the concern for Chevy a little bit now. Like I know Evan's been talking about it, but
they're not as fast. Like they don't
like
have
Larson's been like I know Larson might has always seems to have a shot to win, but he hasn't had the speed he did earlier in the year.
You want that about a guy who doesn't have the speed like he did. Let's look at Byron.
Yeah, but
Like
exactly.
those guys have
He
fallen off.
he performed a little better yesterday. He was
but
he was never really there was never really a chance of that he was racing for the win, in my opinion. He was just driving around, but
and I will say
unless NASCAR changes the rules again and hands Chevy a win, like they're gonna have a hard time getting another one.
When was Toyota's last one?
You know what? I don't have the stats in front of me at the moment.
I don't either.
Must have been Christopher Bell, wouldn't have been
New
Hampshire.
At Gateway? Oh,
New Hampshire.
New Hampshire.
Yeah. Because Chevy's had
I just
want to make sure we know. But yeah, as far as your Penske comment about them having found speed, if you can point to me another Ford team that we should expect to find speed right now.
Yeah, because RFK has fallen off.
Oh,
like they've fallen off though, like in my opinion.
They have. Yeah.
But like they were looking lights out.
Yeah.
They were looking solid. It has
honestly though, Busher's got some good tracks coming up. Like
he better hope so.
Yeah.
But this is a stretch he won 3 in a row last year.
Yeah, that's.
Did he win 3 in a row?
Yeah,
or 3 races. He won Richmond, Michigan, and somewhere else.
Was it Daytona?
It might have been Daytona. Yeah, shut off everyone else's chance for a win and get in situation.
Yeah, because Bubba kind of needed him to win. I think.
Yeah.
Point in. Yeah.
Yeah. So. Yeah, you're not wrong. He's definitely got his opportunities, but it does make that whole situation with Christopher Bell or Tyler Reddick, make way more sense, at Darlington, right? It's like, I see it now,
At Darlington, you're like, bro, like chill. You're still running incredible. You're going to get a win, and now it's just like, what happened to RFK?
Yeah, because those 3 weeks, he theoretically very easily could have won 3 wins, again, back to back, right like that. And, we sitting on 30 bonus points heading into the playoffs. Or no, sorry.
Yeah.
They're 5 each, aren't they?
Yeah, it's 15.
15. Yeah, not good at math.
That's all right.
But yeah.
When you're that handsome, you don't need to be smart.
Right? That's why I had to upgrade the camera this week, because I felt like I wasn't really showing off my beauty.
Oh, yeah, I got to get that wide lens. Show it all off.
Yeah. Actually, I do have a wide lens I could put on it. Maybe I'd look more stocky. This isn't going to go anywhere good if you let me continue.
Well, your segment's next, bud. If you have it this week,
I
Brought
do.
to you by Husky.
Husky. This week we are actually going to play a little game called Radioactive Replay. So I've listened to Radioactive throughout the first how many races we're in right now? 18 races, something like that. I've listened to Radioactive and taken out some highlights and gonna see if you guys can tell us. Yes.
What's
radioactive? Okay, good.
Oh, you guys don't know what Radioactive is?
No idea.
No.
Oh man. Okay, so NASCAR.
I thought it was just your dirty laundry, but
no. NASCAR Race Hub, which is no longer with us, used to have a segment called Radioactive where they would listen in to the drivers' radio chatter throughout the week and take the highlights of it and kind of put them in a moment. Kyle Busch made a lot of appearances, as you might expect, for example. So basically, I've taken some of those highlights and picked what I consider to be the highlights of the highlights, if that makes sense. These are
I
all
don't know, Track Bar. Are you helping me?
Sorry?
I said, I don't know, Track Bar. Are you helping me?
That was Truex.
No, it was Junior.
Yeah, Junior. Truex Junior.
Dale Jr.
You're right. Yeah, because his crew chief asked if the track bar was helping, right?
Yeah, it's like the best radio comment ever.
Yeah. Anyway, so I've taken 10 of these, and I'm going to let you guys go at it and predict who you think each one is. Yeah. And bonus points if you know where they said it.
Oh.
So, all right. All right. Let's start with The first.
Is this like current or is this like history of NASCAR?
You're right.
No, this is this season.
This
Highlights
season.
from
All
this
right.
season.
Thank you for clarifying.
David Pearson, 1961, lap 309.
At Riverside Speedway, I think. All right. I am going to try to shuffle these up a bit so you can't predict exactly where they're at, but
I feel like we're okay.
Yeah,
all
right.
right. Oh, also, I will clarify some of these have been cleaned up for the family friendliness of the show because trust me, there's a lot of censoring that goes on for some of these. All right. Number one, I literally felt like Lightning McQueen in the movie Cars.
That sounds like Kyle Larson.
Kyle Larson. Corey.
Daniel Suarez.
All right. It was actually Chase Briscoe. It was at the Daytona 500 after finding his way safely through the big one. He avoided 4 or 5 cars there all at once. All right. I just don't understand it. We're on the first lap, man.
Oh, I heard this one.
All right.
I'm going Kyle Busch.
I'm going Kyle Busch. Yeah.
No, it's Martin Truex Jr. at Coda after he had a loose wheel on the first lap.
I don't remember that.
Son of a. You want to keep this family friendly?
I will say that was one of the dumbest situations I've seen happen at a race. There's zero reason to have a loose wheel on lap 1.
All right.
All right.
Little Jimmy Smalls.
Who? Oh,
James
James
Small.
Small. Gotcha. Okay. Whatever. Let's just rate this. Sorry. Whatever. Let's just race the crap out of each other. Let's do it, I guess.
Kyle Busch.
Denny Hamlin.
Ryan Blaney, also at Coda, after contact from Joey Logano.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. All right. This is number 4. Got shoved into him. Screw the plans. I'm done.
That sounds like Kyle Busch.
It does sound like
Anything that's
Kyle Busch.
remotely close to whining, I think that's got to be Kyle Busch.
I'm going with Bubba Wallace.
Finally, we got a point on the board. It's Bubba Wallace. That was at Talladega immediately.
Wait. You said bonus points for telling where it's from.
Oh, I wouldn't have got where it was from.
Sorry.
That was from the 23 car.
Yeah.
Yeah. Immediately following
We're
the
tied
wreck,
up.
took most of the Toyota camp out of the running for the win at Talladega.
Oh, I forgot about that. That was a good time.
It's killed, and I'm going to go kill both of them. That's what I'm going to do.
Oh, I heard this one too.
That wouldn't be Kyle Busch because he's not going to do anything.
I'm going to know this when you say it. I'm going Christopher Bell.
Man. Like, I want to go Christopher Bell too, just because, you know, the thing's dead and blown up. But, like, I think you're right, which is surprising because it doesn't sound like a Christopher
I know
Bell
it doesn't,
thing to
but
say.
that's just what came to my head. But
Say the quote one more time, Evan.
Sure.
I'm taking too long. I'm sorry.
No, it's good. It's killed, and I'm going to go kill both of them is what I'm going to do.
I'm going to go William Byron.
William Byron was associated with this, but it was Ryan Blaney.
wow, Ryan
Okay.
Blaney says a
It
lot.
was at Darlington after
Ah.
William Byron made that move on him and Truex.
Yeah.
Put them 3
Yeah.
wide cars,
All right.
eliminated them. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's go with I got dirty jockeys.
Oh,
Jockeys. Who?
I feel like that's either the 1 car or the 99. I'm going Ross Chastain on that.
Going Denny Hamlin.
Point for Donnie. We're 1-1. Do you know where he said
And
it
I
at,
want
Donnie?
to, I don't right off. I'll take a guess, but I feel like he's sponsored by jockeys.
He is, yeah.
Like that's why, that's why I went with
that
him.
would make sense because there's just a weird name.
Right.
Jockeys.
Yeah. What was the quote one more time? Sorry, man.
I got dirty jockeys.
Nashville?
Nah, it was at Atlanta. He avoided a wreck, and his
Oh.
spotter asked him, "How are your shorts?"
I got dirty jockeys.
I will say, I don't know how some of these guys are as funny as they are in the like in that moment, right?
Yeah.
All right, let's go to the next one. He jumped the start.
Martin
Martin
Truex.
Truex Jr.
Where? guys?
And was it
Richmond.
Bristol? Richmond.
Yeah, it was Richmond. Danny jumped the start. Yeah. All right,
Bonus
so we'll give
point.
Corey
He
the
did.
bonus point. You both got
He
the.
did.
Like I feel like you were both on the. Oh yeah, he definitely did.
Oh, I
In
said
fact-
Martin Truex first, so
We both got the Truex.
no, I
Actually,
Oh,
you're
yeah.
right.
jumped.
You did say
I
Truex
jumped the
first,
question,
Donnie-
got it,
Okay,
so.
so you're tied at 2 then, essentially, because Corey got the bonus point.
I got the bonus point from Bubba. He said it in the 23 car.
Oh yeah,
No.
okay.
All right.
Gosh.
I'm going
Deck
back
is
and
stacked
listening to
against
this one. I don't think he said it first.
Okay. Kevin,
Yeah, for
just
sure.
let me drive the race car.
Say it again.
Alex Bowman.
Kevin, just let me drive the race car.
Oh, Larson.
Oh, it was Larson too.
No, it was
No,
Bowman.
it's not. It's not.
Oh, was it?
Wasn't
Okay,
Bowman.
I got it.
It was Bowman. Yeah. Do you know where he said it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, 'cause
Oh, it was earlier in the season. Was it Dover?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It
there
was
we go.
Dover.
that was a
Uh,
two Larson. That's when
He,
him and Larson were
expressed
getting into it.
frustration with Kyle
Yeah.
Larson. Yeah. Racing him
Yeah,
harder than he wanted.
not-
The spotter, Kevin Hamlin, told him that Larson wasn't going to just pull
Nice.
over and he'd have to just go do it. All right. Last 2. We'll do one at a time, of course. I don't have that sticker on my door. This means more.
Chris Buescher.
Where at?
I feel like we just talked
Darlington.
about it, but Darlington.
It is Darlington.
I said it first.
You did.
What's the bonus? You didn't even answer the
Oh.
question. You don't get to answer the bonus.
He didn't specify.
So am I
Yeah.
crazy? Yeah, Donnie's up 1. No, Donnie's up 2.
Yeah. Well, 3 now that I just got
What
the
a bunch
Buescher
of
Well,
one.
no, he got the
cheaters.
bonus.
Oh, I do a good bonus.
How does it? You've already said the bonuses before I could answer them before.
Only
So,
on
like,
1. Only
yeah.
on 1.
Man,
He can't beat you.
Garbage.
He can't even beat you
Garbage.
now. Okay.
garbage.
This is my favorite one,
Still could
okay?
be cheated.
And this is actually this will give it away if I say that. So, okay. Dad, hey, somebody get my dad.
Dad, someone get my dad. Denny Hamlin.
Tyler Reddick.
Ricky Stenhouse at North Wilkesboro post-race discussion with Kyle Busch after the fist flew and he saw his dad with hands on Kyle.
Oh.
Dad.
This wasn't
Somebody
radio.
get my
That doesn't
dad.
count.
It does because it was on Radioactive and a driver said it.
But it wasn't over the radio.
Oh my goodness.
So like that's what threw me off. Like I would have.
Oh yeah, I bet it is.
Yep.
Anyway, that was the game for tonight. I hope you guys had fun. I hope the guys listening enjoyed it as well. But
Another win.
we are
oh
on.
yeah,
We are on.
it has ruined friendships.
We're on to something that Donnie didn't win this week.
Ooh,
We're
Can't
going
hit it
before
all.
the green, baby.
can't believe Bowman got a point.
Right? Even broke clocks right twice a day.
Yep.
You guys are hilarious.
This is
All
your
right.
right, you
segment
buddy.
now, yeah.
Yeah, I'm just waiting
Weekly
for Evan to
reminder.
finish up here. You good?
Yeah, we're good.
Oh, all right.
Okay.
So we're headed to Indianapolis. We are going back to the Brickyard, and we are not running a road course. I don't know what to think. That road course honestly was a snooze fest of a race, but we also went to the road course because the oval wasn't much better. So I don't have high hopes for it. We have nothing to compare this car to here. So I mean, this is really wide open, and we're all picking blind this week. As
feel
far
like
as
it can't
picks
be
last
worse
week,
than it was, right? Right? Like I feel like
Famous
this
last
car's been
words.
better on ovals.
yeah, that's true.
I'm
So-
hoping. Because you're right, it couldn't be worse than last year's road course race.
Yeah.
Sorry. I didn't
So yeah, no
Stop.
worries. No, you're good.
I'm optimistic.
So picks as they went. Daniel Suarez is who I picked. Not because I wanted to, but because basically that's all I had left. And I got 16th place. Corey took Tyler Reddick. Pretty much guaranteed points that he failed to get because he
I wouldn't
finished
say
6th.
guaranteed.
Oh, pretty close too.
Did we all get points with? Did you guys get points with Tyler Reddick? Evan hasn't taken him yet, but
I haven't taken him
Yeah.
yet, so that's a bad. And Donnie didn't either.
Yeah, I don't think I did.
Donnie
Yeah,
took my
exactly.
Darlington.
So, I'm pretty-
And how did Darlington work out? Anyone remember? Have we talked about it enough tonight? Generational
And
talent,
Evan.
Tyler Reddick.
Hey, if he's driving up front, he is.
Yeah.
If he's got to catch somebody, it's a different story. But we're building towards something, all right?
That's my line. You can't have it.
Alex Bowman, 3rd place. They're still building.
I like it better when Evan was miserable about,
Right?
I don't like this cocky Evan about, oh, my driver's good now. It's like, I
Listen,
don't like it.
You got to
no, man. Listen,
Yeah.
I tell you, it is so much nicer seeing him when he has confidence than when he's like,
Yeah, and we're saying we don't like seeing you with
Another
confidence. We
week.
want
Well, like, here's the thing. If he finds out NASCAR gift wrapped that win and
Oh
handed
my
it to him,
gosh.
like, will that ruin his confidence? Like, what if somebody tells him that?
You are so
Like,
crazy. I'm sure he's
right?
already heard. He's obviously a fan of the podcast as much as I'm a fan of him.
That's
I
creepy.
can imagine.
That's very creepy.
Oh,
All right.
man.
So,
Still your
yeah.
segment, Don.
Yeah, as I was saying, I mean, that's basically it. We got to move on to points.
Okay.
We got a 3-way tie for first, unless we're talking tiebreakers. And then, of course, I have that because I pick winners the most on this show.
Mm.
Winners win. What can I say?
Bet
Corey?
you're not- don't take this wrong. I
Yeah.
bet you're not picking winners from here on out.
Oh,
Anything can happen.
no, I'm good. I still got MTJ.
Corey LaJoy is like your second best pick available.
Donnie's scratching out the name now. He's got to pick someone else this week.
Oh yeah, yeah. Donnie's trying to figure out where we're not going to have any good picks left, so he can get Martin Truex and get a point.
Oh, man.
Listen, I'm building towards something here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're not building towards a repeat at the rate.
All right, you know what? You got first pick. Tell us who you're taking, Evan.
All right. I struggled with it a little bit this week, but I am going to finally take Mr. Brad Keselowski.
No real surprise.
Yep.
Brad K. I guess I'm next. My second.
You are
You are
next.
next.
I am going with William Byron.
Oh,
Hopefully he
you're
can turn
finally
it
taking
around.
Byron. I like how you went with one of the guys with the least amount of experience here.
William Byron?
Yeah.
He's raced here quite a bit.
At Indy? In Cup?
Just as much as most of the other guys.
Not as much as Brad.
Oh, Brad's old as the hills, man. Like,
Well, seeing as we raced that Martin Truex home track last week, I don't know if I want to pick him for his home track this week. New Jersey's got to be close to Indianapolis, I assume, right?
Just as close as everywhere else they call it.
Yeah,
home
within
track.
800 miles. So I think that would.
We're here in Sonoma, Martin's Truex home track. If he was racing when we go to Mexico City, they'd probably call that his home track.
All right.
He's Martin Truex.
And just like that, we've been canceled. Thank you for tuning in.
Why? They can't say, they probably could not pick anyone specific that I would be impersonating. Because
Honestly, I'm just impressed it's the first time you've ever hit the ethnicity of the impression you were trying to do.
I know, it's probably as close as I've ever gotten.
They honestly, nobody can cancel you for that because if they knew what you're usually like.
Usually I would have been speaking like German trying to say Mexico City.
Right? Oh,
Who you got?
your
Tono?
German impression sets the bar. Like, anyway.
Yeah.
I want to take Jimmy Johnson so bad,
Really?
but like,
You think this is where
I
he turns
know.
it around?
but like, he's never finished better than 26. So I want to throw that out there. So like, if he
dude,
just pulls off the race of his
18 times,
lifetime
though.
Wait, he's never finished
Right?
better than 26th here?
in the next gen,
I was gonna say,
like in this new car.
I
No,
was
no,
like,
four
no
times.
way.
Yeah, no. No, the guy was lights out at Indy. That's why I
Okay.
want to take
I was
him.
gonna say, like, there's no way that he was that bad at any particular track.
Yeah. No, he's never finished better than 26 in this car.
Okay.
Yeah. So, man.
By the way, did you give up on the playoffs for Martin Truex Jr.?
Tell you what?
Did you give up on the playoffs for MTJ?
What do you mean give up on them?
Well, like you're just not very optimistic.
No, we're gonna make the
He's
playoffs.
gonna make the playoffs.
No, but like just not going to do real well in them. Is that where you're thinking?
Oh no,
I'm
I
just
think he's
confused
gonna.
because it looks like you trimmed up your playoff beard.
Oh,
What a guy.
good one.
Actually, now that I say it, I realize what you probably trimmed it for, and I do feel a bit like a jerk.
It's all good. All right. Jimmy Carr back there.
Oh,
All right.
I
Well,
don't think I've felt
how do
this
I
bad
compete?
about something I've said on the podcast in a long time. I am sorry.
Oh, it's all good, buddy. Like,
Oh,
yeah, I
you
don't
need to
even,
make your pick so I can go apologize.
I feel like I'm just throwing stuff away here. I'm gonna go.
Harrison Burton.
Now I can't because you took it from me.
Yeah.
You ruined my moment.
Take
Josh Berry.
Josh.
Ooh. That's not like the worst pick.
No, Harrison Burton would have been the worst pick.
LaJoy's still available for you.
Well, that's true.
Harrison, or no, you didn't take Harrison Burton.
No,
Who'd you
Josh
take
Berry.
again? Josh Berry.
Josh Berry.
I'm scrolling down the list trying to find him right at the very top. All
I know
right.
he's the fourth one down. That's
Well.
Russ Chastain at the very top.
Yeah, and then Cindric and Dillon. The scary part is you've taken two of those drivers ahead of them. And outside of Chastain. Anyway.
There hasn't been a lot of drivers here. Like, I think, well, Brad's won or raced here 11 times. Like, besides Kyle Busch, there's not a whole lot of.
Brad won here
Crazy
11 times. What are you talking
No,
about?
he raced here 11 times.
Oh, okay. I was
Yeah.
like, nope, no, he did not.
No. Do you imagine?
I feel like,
I feel like
Denny
he-
does pretty well here, doesn't he?
Where doesn't Denny do pretty
He's never
well?
won.
Denny's never won at Indy?
No.
Huh.
Which kind of maybe almost taken because that's something he doesn't have as a Brickyard win, but
I'm sure if given the chance, he'll push Kyle Larson out of the way to get it.
he'll push anybody out of the way. Which Kyle Larson could do well here. I mean, I know it's a totally different car, but he ran the Indy car here
He
for
did.
a while. So
That's the joys of racing Denny.
The joys of racing Denny. Oh my lord. Oh, what a guy.
hey, Ricky Stenhouse has raced here 8 times. He's got one top
How many
20.
times has he wrecked?
One top 20 out of 8
9?
times.
One top 20?
One top 20.
Although to be fair, he was with Roush when they had no power, so that makes sense. This is a power track, which kind of makes me hesitant on the Brad Keselowski pick, but we're gonna roll with it.
It was like yeah.
To be
It's
fair,
a hard,
actually,
it's a hard week to pick.
it is, but I actually feel like this is probably the best week to pick Keselowski against Byron because Byron has not been shown much speed. So
Okay, buddy, you keep riding your little train of Alex Bowman winning.
No,
with your
listen.
overconfidence.
no, listen. William Byron is not the same William Byron we saw 4 months ago.
He
That
was
is-
running top 10 all day Sunday.
Okay, did you see him though? Did you see him make?
I
any
didn't
big
see
moves?
Brad Keselowski at all.
Oh yeah, they showed him racing with Bubba multiple
Okay,
times.
back into like 25th.
Bubba finished like top 10 or something like that.
All
You're
right.
just being
guys are off the
irrationally harsh
rails.
tonight.
No, you're being cocky and I don't like it.
I'm not cocky. If I was being cocky, I'd say I'm going to go in and run some iRacing and dominate.
Well,
But I don't
that's
believe
just being
that.
delusional.
Yeah, it's been a rough couple weeks actually. But gotta find a way
Alright.
to make Donnie
Well-
stop watching.
Who's ending this thing?
I'll end it.
We've run
I
out of
mean,
things
maybe
to say.
this is the week where NASCAR will change every rule and how we race, and Martin Truex will be gifted a win. I'm not too sure. We'll
I'd be
tune
okay
in
with
to
that, to be
see.
honest. I'd like to see
Right?
Truex get a win now.
I mean, what's fair is fair
If you
But-
think that, why didn't you pick him?
because I got him saved for somewhere else.
Oh,
Oh, you know what? Too, we're I probably should mention this. We're going to be on a 2-week break. 'Cause we
Yeah.
got the Olympics coming up. I'm
Yeah.
guessing me and Corey will get a text here in a couple days. Hey, I just want to keep the momentum going, guys. Do you want to do like a season recap so far, or
Not at
put
all.
something out there for the listeners because they're going to be wanting some NASCAR content? But until that text comes through, we're taking a 2-week break. So we'll catch you in a couple weeks.
Well, I assume
and
we're
talk all
I assume
things.
we're
Oh yeah,
here talking Indy, aren't we, next week?
that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So after that,
So next week
Too
will be.
we
excited.
tried. You tried, but
Yeah, I did.
Hey, let's save that outro for next week, Donnie. Do you want to try again?
No, that's pretty
Hey.
much all the enthusiasm I had for this
Let's
thing.
do impersonations I nailed tonight. I also nailed the impersonation
Was-
of someone talking to a baby.
Is that what that was?
Yeah. Or a puppy.
That's why you're on the registry.
Oh my gosh. Disclaimer, I'm not on any registry.
Mhm.
Definitely not a
He
wedding
just doesn't
registry.
like going within 200 feet of elementary schools. It's
How
not
about
because
we-
he's on a list. He just doesn't like the kids.
How about we do an actual outro?
In his defense, they do bully him a lot. So
Oh my goodness. Donnie.
you want to attack my beard, I'll attack you.
I already said I felt really bad about the beard comment.
Alrighty, guys. We'll see you next week when we talk all things Indy and see whether this was the worst race of the season or if they figured it out and we're back to fun brickyard racing.
Woohoo.
Follow us on Instagram, all our social medias, wherever we are. Heaven looks after all that stuff. And yeah,
We're out.
later.
Later.